Well, Dado isn't here yet, but I guess we can get this show on the road. So, everybody, welcome to today's Humanode Fireside. The topic is the Humanode DAO, Vortex, and how to prepare for its launch. So, I know we've talked about the Vortex before, how the governance works. So, Victor, today's topic is how to prepare for its launch. Do we want to just jump into how to prepare for it, or do you want to uh, briefly discuss about the Vortex, just in case somebody's new?
Sure. I'd like to briefly go over Vortex. And, I think that today, if people listen carefully, they might understand how well will they eventually not only just launch the node at their home, but become part of the Humanode ecosystem and, not only provide value to Humanode ecosystem, but benefit from it as well. Many people are coming here for rewards. We're saying, hey guys, that's not the place to do that. You shall believe in the idea, getting prepared for real Humanode launch, because now Humanode it's still in its infancy, and I hope we'll address these today so that people could get ready to the new crypto structure that awaits them launching this summer.
Cool. Hey, Dato, good to see you here.
What's up? What's up? I'm here.
Cool. So, Victor, let's start then. Tell us about the secret sauce.
Well, let's start with the overview of Vortex with the
Oh my god,
those
who even voted for this theme? How to prepare for Vortex? Just stay alive.
everybody. Just
Don't
stay
die.
alive? Really? Is that enough?
Don't die.
Is that
Yes,
enough?
don't die. Vote for stuff. That's it. Who came out with this theme? Really? All right. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
just
that was
joking.
me.
Please continue.
That was me actually. And
And
I can tell you why I came up with those things. Sean, could you please mute yourself because something bad happens if you don't do this, both with me and Dato. Yeah, thanks. Okay, guys, Vortex 101. It's the DAO that we're building. It's the DAO where people are completely equal in voting power, whatever happens to you, no matter how rich you are, no matter how many HMD tokens you have, doesn't matter at all. If you are staying in the Vortex and vote for longer time, what you eventually get is no more voting power. No, you get the right to propose on more crucial things. So at the beginning, you can uh, give advices to how we can strengthen our marketing, or you could be a great UX UI designer and propose a new flow for Humanode desktop app or for Humanode web app, which will be then integrated into our main product together with the Humanode core team or in completely open source manner. But when you're staying with Vortex for more than a year or two, being an active voter, being a Humanode, always in the validator set, those who participate in consensus, you eventually get rights to vote on such things as the change of the like monetary algorithm, be it fixed supply or rebalancing every year or rebalancing every 3 months, according to the value growth. And at the same time, you can change the DAO itself and its structure. We'll try to make some things unchanged, I think, but that's a question for Dato actually. So if we're talking about the rights that people will get to propose things on the change of the DAO itself, will it be possible that eventually the DAO won't be as democratic, where everybody has only one vote, as it is in the beginning? Because new people in power, so to say, will amass their power and have voters vote on some things that will make our vortex less democratic. And one person, one vote won't hold truth in the long term.
You're asking Dado this question, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. So
Uh,
the question is, do you expect something like that can happen?
uh, w- w- so that in the future, one person is not equal to one vote.
Yeah, actually, yes, because the Vortex voted for that to change the DAO structure so that it's not true anymore.
Sure. I mean, if that was, if Vortex wants to, vote for endless emperorship of some human being, then thus it will happen basically because it's like a democratic consensus, right?
Will you then fork the network and start a new Humanode network, which is still democratic?
I mean, well, it really depends on the people. So as ancient Romans in times of peril and war, were kind of voting for dictators. That wasn't a bad word at the time; it was a good word. Something that might be happening in Humanode as well, or people can be forking to other networks for sure. I mean, it's really on the people and what they associate themselves with. Basically, Vortex is just Humanode networks DAO, but networks, but DAOs on Humanodes can be multitude, because well, you can make separate networks composed of human nodes, and have different types of um, self-organizing systems on top of it. So yeah, why not?
That's right. Shannon? Sorry,
No, I
go
was
on.
gonna. So it all comes down to what people want, and I guess if the democratic process says that democracy is outdated and we want to go back to the times of uh, dictatorships and kings and queens and emperors, then that is what the people vote for. But I to have that option there is democracy, I guess. I am hoping personally that everybody who participates in the vortex will be wanting to um, to keep the one person one vote structure, and in a sense, the dream alive. But hey, it's the will of the people.
Well, it's the will of the 66%. That's what is accustomed to be recognized as the absolute majority, and well, that's the people. If that's what people want, then that's what they should get. But it doesn't mean that that 33% of the network have to cope with any bullshit that 66% of people came up with and voted for. They can easily fork away and just say, hey, We don't like your attitude. We want a separate network, and here we are.
Sorry, Shannon. Um, can can you mute yourself, Shannon? Thing is that your when we start to speak with data, your microphone thinks it's you speaking, and it turns on right away. Okay, let's get back to the theme. The thing that I wanted to talk about is that um, why should people anywhere prepare for Vortex? And the math here is pretty simple. Okay, some people, I'm not pointing at them, but we know there are a lot of those. They like money, right? They like doing things for rewards, and they probably see Humanode as something that they can reap rewards of without doing a lot of stuff, just holding a node, putting in the server, all easy, right? Not as easy as it seems, because we already have 1,400 nodes in the testnet. And I should tell you that this testnet doesn't yet have the finalization feature, which means that we still don't know how many nodes we can really support. And I personally think looking both at the different technologies and how they behave, even in the circumstances when they have, well, Solana less than 200 nodes goes down pretty often, like every month. Avalanche, yep, a little better, 1,000 nodes. Still not there that we could say that there is any technology that is working stable with thousands of nodes. Okay, we have 1,400 nodes, despite the fact that our community, like active community, is around 3,000 people, maybe less. Meaning that when our community grows, even before mainnet, we'll have more people willing to join as humanodes than the network needs at the moment. Otherwise, it would be too slow or it could just stop. We don't know it yet. Okay, we should expect everything, but at the same time, it's a financial system that has to work without being shut down, like Google does each year. So what I'm leading to is that putting a server, Humanode server, uh, won't be enough to stay in the validator set from day one, meaning that people who will just put on the nodes, right, they won't be eligible for rewards right away just because of that. And the only thing apart from running a node, how we are going to let people in the validator set or not is through Vortex. So that's why the question is how people should be ready for Vortex and what they should expect from Vortex. Well, you would have all of your questions asked if you would check Shannon's video or the white paper, but we can still go over it and tell people what to expect and how they should be ready to engage with Humanode network in order to become a Humanode for good and not to, be out of the validator set from the week one of our mainnet.
So, what should we do? I mean, what what preparations can we make?
Well, one of the apparent ones, it's not only connected to our mainnet, it's also connected to the fact that we're having a lot of events connect with Humanode and our community soon, is to think about probably, well, this is the hardest question, okay, but is to think about how people could use Humanode and what useful could I build on top of Humanode? Because even the proposition of something useful can be accepted, and the person who proposed it will be ready to choose a team and work on this proposition. I'm telling that because, well, from proof of devotion is something that will make you stay in the consensus set for a long time. This is something that you can think about in advance. And of course, the other way to prepare is to expect voting on things, to stay in the to stay in the like not the validator set, but to stay in the quorum. Human nodes will be required to vote on at least 22% of all the proposals that are coming through the network. And even if we're talking about non-token weighted networks, okay, where participants are mostly interested because they hold a lot of tokens of the network, we can see really active DAOs with over 200 proposals in a few months, meaning that people should be ready to vote, express their opinion on the proposals on a weekly basis. Well, at least check out what's happening there on a weekly basis, without coming later and saying, hey, Humanode is scam, I'm out of validator set, I'm not getting anything for being Humanode. Well, you were not prepared, sir, to vote or to like devote your work to Humanode, your ideas and your proposals. This is in short, actually. I think we could come up with a more comprehensive list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of what people should do. But I mean, we're not playing tyranny here. We want people to be enthusiastic and, do not pinpoint of who and who should do what, so to say.
So basically, what you're saying here, and I totally agree here, is that Humanode, in order to remain a validator, or in order to become a validator, you have to be active in the community. And, you become an active participant in the community in whatever way possible. Of course, voting, being, I guess, active in making proposals, listening to people, yeah, and become part of the community. I mean, one of the whole, or one of the biggest, how shall I say, features of this. I'm not sure if feature is the right word. One of the greatest principles here is this is a community, uh, composed of a community. It's not a top-down structure where you have, some corporate elites telling you what is the best way forward and this is how you move forward. But it has to come from a consensus of the community and of an active community, because if the community is not active, it will always be a small group of people calling all the shots. So I guess keep being active. And Victor, am I correct to say that what you are stating here is that we need an active community, and the active community will be those who will be carrying Humanoid forward, correct?
Well, that was one of the ways to say what to do to actually stay humanoid for a long time and not to be kicked out of the validator set doing nothing. Yeah, exactly, Shane. Because we see how people fight for 10,000 of different JPEGs because they look rare. Now imagine what will happen if we have less than 10,000 places in the Humanode network. What kind of competition will be there? And it will not be the competition of betting with money, because money won't count in this competition.
Dato, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, what Victor is saying is quite straightforward. So no. Well, according to this theme, basically, the more you read about the vortex in the white paper, the more prepared you will be. So, and try to stay alive and not lose your face. Yeah, literally, not figuratively.
Okay, well, might as well ask the community to ask some questions here. We already have a hand up, so let's see what Emir would like to ask. Go ahead.
Okay, so I believe there's always way to corrupt some ways of power in communities with money, with some influence and etc. But in the end, I don't think it's gonna be a big problem because of rebalancing. Because if you are just coming for the profit margin and like thinking about money, I believe that rebalance will just risk everything, and I don't think people, the big companies or whatever it is, not gonna take that much risk.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's not that risky actually to become a humanoid. Uh, it's okay to take that risk. In the beginning, I expect that we will have those profit seekers who are here to do less and get more. What I'm telling is that eventually, the DAO is structured the way so that uh, people doing nothing will be kicked out of the validator set pretty quickly, and it might even mean that the servers that they rented are not earning anything. Yeah. Anyway, the rebalancing you're talking about, Emre, is it the rebalancing in terms of in terms of the people who enter the community? So you're talking about like people coming for money, and then more and more uh, they get wiped out by the people who are coming to contribute.
Oh yeah, that's also something gonna happen. But I was talking about more about the token balancing. I can't remember what you call that system right now. So, but some token mechanic which check value, and if it's not, if it's less than overall something, it just slash everyone's coins tokens, and if it's more than that average something, it just means tokens for everyone. So if that money seekers just keep coming and take some place, let's say, and they accumulate a 1 million token, etc. With that rebalancing, they might end up with 100k like in one term. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, still the term is pretty long. It's actually we'll have 2 years before the first rebalancing. But yeah, you're completely right. The thing is that everybody's interested in the growth of Humanode network, the amount of transactions going through, the adoption of biometric solutions by Humanode among different protocols and applications. So yeah, the people coming with money will surely understand that it's in their interest that the humanoids are contributing to the development of the network and its adoption. This was, one way to align the interests of those who want to buy token and sell more of it or at the higher price, and the interests of those who want to drive the adoption of the chain where nodes are equal. Okay. Thank you, Amra, for this.
Victor, how will you prepare for Vortex? Tell me.
I prepare for Vortex? Well, I think build Vortex in the first place.
Nice. But you have
yeah.
to tell the people about the difference between, starting positions there. Come on, mate.
Starting positions at Vortex?
Yeah, okay, Victor, you're gonna be a citizen or a consul?
Well, I expect that I'll have to take the role of the council. So.
Now, could you explain to people the difference there and why we're making it so?
Oh, that's pretty easy. So you see, there are few people in this channel who have been thinking about Humanode for years and about its structure and are building it, including the Humanode DAO itself and the Humanode network, all the technologies needed in place. And there are some people in the community who are not yet ready to propose their decisions on how they can change uh, the DAO, because probably they're not yet familiar with the goals of our endeavors, and that's why, well, there is a limit on how new people start in Vortex. And the thing is that they cannot they can vote on things, but they cannot propose changes to crucial things that should be thought of for months or years in advance before even proposing those. So, as taking into account the position that most of the people start with at Humanode DAO, you should be prepared to propose things on the product side, on the marketing side, probably, and for example, on adoption side, I would say, because you can always propose products that can build on top of Humanode network and even become the leaders of those. So that's where everybody will start, and that's what you should think of, because from the day one of the existence of Humanode DAO, there will be a treasury which is ready to fund your initiatives, which I think will already emerge at the point when we have a hackathon, and we'll have tens of those. And always remember. Oh, sorry, Shannon. Always remember that if you're not a developer, well, there are no teams that consist of developers only. Usually, most of the teams have more non-developer positions than developer, uh, because the world needs you, like business developers, marketeers, and people who don't know how to code. They are crucial to the ecosystem because they're usually the ones pushing new ideas, then translating them together with engineers into the code. So don't be shy about hackathons and getting prepared for contributing to Humanode DAO if you're not a developer, because they will need you a lot.
Okay, sorry. Telegram is acting up here, so muting and unmuting is a challenge here. But I was also going to say, even if you're a council or even if you're just a governor or a citizen, one thing that you can do is if you are really passionate about something, you can seek up those who have the power to propose and actively talk to them and tell them your proposal. And if the council member thinks that this is a worthy proposal, they can pick it up and propose it too. So, I mean, you won't necessarily have the power to propose it directly by yourself, but you will be able to talk to people who can propose it for you.
Yeah, actually, I want to say sorry to the community because usually when I talk on Fireside, it's so straightforward that we have nothing to talk about pretty soon. So, Shannon, what is that you think we should address today? And if there is anybody from the community who wants to ask anything, well, you're invited. Yeah, always.
Yes, I mean, if you have any questions, just raise your hand or type it out in Telegram, and we will answer whatever we can. Don't hesitate. We're already past the 30-minute mark, so anybody is free to contribute and ask questions about the vortex or other topics. And I guess, okay, here we go. We have a question here. Let me unmute you if I can. And there we go.
Yeah. Hi. I'm hearing myself. Okay. So the question basically, Victor, you said that the people their goal is the money, and they will quickly be thrown out of the system because they don't do if they don't want to do something that level of that they need to stay in the system. So I just was wondering how it does how to say, how would we analyze what is the amount of someone uh, doing to the system, like proposing and supporting, etc.? Is there some kind of a, I don't know how to say, the coefficient of something doing, of like you pass the mark of 80% of you need and you stay, or else you go out, like a test? How it works from your view?
Yeah, that's a great question. So let's start from the beginning, right? The easiest thing that anybody can do, set up a node, keep a good uptime of it. That's the information that we will link directly from the blockchain to the DAO. Then next thing is voting. There is a certain threshold which is like completely binary. More than you should vote on more than 22% of the whole proposals in the system. And we have, so for now the DAO is pretty easy. We think it will evolve because the last point is called proof of devotion. I mean, whether you have done anything or not, meaning that your proposal was accepted and your proposal was executed, or for example, like the first 3 months of proposal execution passed successfully, with proofs of the job done. And this is just, the publishing into GitHub, or if it's not connected to code, something to the document, which is put either directly to blockchain or pinned at IPFS. And basically, then it is validated on the blockchain that yes, this Humanode had proof of devotion passed, or no, it hasn't been passed yet. Of course, eventually, when we'll have tens of thousands of nodes who already had who had their 22% threshold of voting and who had proof of devotion at the same time, we will have to create more instruments, to value
Okay, so
how
basic-
much anybody done. Yeah, but for now it's just binary, yes or no.
So in time, the system evolves with the test system, the evaluation system will evolve with the system of the human node. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, for sure.
there's a whole new type of management hypothesis that we're working on, and we'll be rolling out a paper on this, I guess, this year. It's an upgrade of DAO to the end game version, the ultimate DAO, but it's a secret, so don't tell anyone.
Okay, thanks.
So, do we have any more questions? Remember, feel free to ask. This is a place to chat.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Why did the system test network stick to the angel names?
Because somebody here is a weeb.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
But thank you. I've got my point. Yeah.
But it always happens that first we come up with the name, and only after that we explain why we picked up that name. And yeah, that was one of those cases. How I see it is that each of our testnet has name of an angel, as if we defeated that angel if we go to the next testnet. So the
Okay, great. Thank
yeah.
But it doesn't mean we have the same amount of angels that we have to defeat, right?
my gosh, too many tests, and that's
Ours are more difficult.
Emre, actually, I see that you are unmuted, but we cannot hear anything.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about these sessions. Are they recorded and shared somewhere? Because I just need to take a call like 5 minutes ago, and I missed a lot of discussion recently.
We were just talking about the naming of the testnet, and that we use the names of the angels to name the testnet. It also goes back to the names of our white papers. You can see that, well, they're still similar to one particular theme that you might have guessed or not. But it's pretty easy to, if you look at the namings that we have.
Yeah. I have a question about Final Tank consensus. Did you guys consider some kind of consensus like Ouroboros? Because while it also causes centralization because of proof of stake with tokens. In technicality, it's X everyone equal power with the token. So since there is no token issue here, it might work much better.
Hey, that's an interesting take. Yeah. Nobody here is excited with the achievements of Cardano, but their paper, when it came out, was pretty new scaling solution for the industry. Yeah, as you know, we're mostly playing with and prototyping the Avalanche consensus that fits us. But as the nodes are equal in the system, we will need to add more randomness. That's why we're learning, from many papers that are written here before us.
Yeah, Ouroboros is like all about randomness at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's always the question where you get the source of this randomness.
But so it's probably going towards more Outland side then. But it's nice.
So, Victor, we're at the 45-minute mark, 15 minutes to go. You had mentioned that, and we've done some questionnaires about this, but we are planning a hackathon. And of course, just a reminder for everybody here, I know I said this in the beginning, but we are in the process of, we have a contest going on to create the mascot for our first conference and hackathon. So don't forget to submit. If you don't have to be a professional designer, and if you are, that's great. If not, it's okay. Whatever mascot the community feels is the best for the conference and hackathon will be selected and will be utilized. But setting that aside, Victor, are there any small hints that you, and Dato too, are there any small hints that you can give about the conference and hackathon and what people should be looking forward to?
Yeah, hard to pick small hints. Well, of course, it will be about Humanode. It will be both about our EVM compatibility and what you can put on top of it, but mostly it will be about finding the the most crucial areas, especially in crypto, where cyber resistance becomes a game changer and lets you create absolutely new crypto experience or reward distributions or UX improvements. And yeah, it will be mostly connected to how cyber resistance can cure crypto in any sense, apart from the one that we're already dealing with the infrastructure. But there are many other applications that need that cyber resistance to thrive.
Dato, is there anything that you want to add to it?
Well, it's gonna be a very hardcore thing, and a lot of interesting ideas will be there. Because building stuff on network based on humans gives you a lot of different interesting building tools where you can make constructions and loops composed of various validator sets that are solely people. So yeah, it would be cool if people come and try to hack together. I guess that's it, Chen.
Cool. So one thing that I will add here, as many of you know, there is an ongoing questionnaire concerning the conference and hackathon, and there are some questions that we ask you there that the more people that participate in it the better, because we'll have a better idea of the expectations. And aside from that, hearing about the conference and the hackathon, if there are specific topics or themes or challenges that you think would be valuable for us to address at the conference or at the hackathon, do not hesitate to contact us, to type it out in Telegram or Discord about what you would like to see, or what great ideas you have. And hey, we might find something that comes out of that will make this endeavor even more exciting. So really don't hesitate to participate and speak up here. So please do so. And having said that, we have 10 minutes left here. So once again, the floor is open to all. Any questions that you have about Humanode, about Vortex, about anything? If you want to know, what we ate for dinner, that's a question too. Just, open floor to anyone. If you have questions, speak up. Or type it out.
Okay, is there any plan to avoid concentration of the power over the human nodes? For example, a lot of people delegating towards single human node or something like that, putting some caps, limits, and etc., or maybe a degradation for inactive people. How is there any plan for that?
Well, I would say that if you build a system in democratic fashion, you cannot interfere in how this democracy works, but you can at least. That's actually one of the tools that can be built at the Humanode hackathon, which is not that difficult. What we are going to do, what we're planning to do, is to build let's call it dashboard for ease of understanding, where you could see really where delegations come to, or those people who have the most power in the system because of those delegations. Are they working together and coordinating or not? And if you can see all of it clearly, you as a humanoid can understand what's going on and notify others. And that's the real way, to protect the network from centralization. Because, well, why do we have networks that are called decentralized but are in fact centralized? Well, because most of the people in crypto do not have an idea what is an Nakamoto coefficient, and the fact that in 10 networks, only 2 validators decide on everything, no matter than there are in total 100 validators. So I think, and companies don't even put it into public that, hey guys, we're centralized, please do something, community, because community just believes that everything is okay.
Yes, so it's the means to demonstrate, you guys, so that there's somebody has amassing power. Yeah,
It's almost because of marketing, because there's so much snake oil and some claims going around, and everyone competing that claims. So when it comes to decentralization and everything, yeah, everyone wants to say we are decentralized because they are competing in that marketing space where everyone literally lies about this stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Yeah.
the vice versa. We're gonna build the system as decentralized as possible, and
Yeah.
if there any centralization, we'll make sure there are tools to notify everybody that something wrong is going on.
The
And
thing is that you can make tools as decentralized as possible. Blah blah blah. You can say anything about the tools, but people don't really need decentralization, and they don't do it. So there is going to be some centralization, of course, around people who are going to actually participate in governance. But contrary to other networks, you're gonna see it very explicitly on the dashboard that this guy has accumulated this amount of votes behind him. Please don't make him an emperor. Vote for somebody else, or just if you want him to be that powerful, just give him votes. You're gonna see that explicitly, and it's gonna be right before you. No one's going to hide it from you. So yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Then everyone needs to be also active human verification, so they probably see that.
If no one delegates their voice and everyone is an active governing participant, then the network will be the most decentralized. The moment somebody delegates his voice to somebody, he just gives power away to a person. Well,
Yeah, it's gonna happen either way. So
hopefully, at least my wish is people will be interested in participating themselves and not just say, okay, I'll go on easy mode and just delegate my votes all the time.
yeah, just my concern is about it going above some absurd limit, like giving 30% on 40% or whatever, 20%. Even 20% is so much. But let's say 20% power to someone and that accumulate over time, and at some point it just becomes gathering everything all around that 20% grows over. Not about that general delegation, because not everyone gonna be able to participate every single vote. So of course there will be some part of delegation. As long as they keep up with the system, they keep the system and everything check. So it's not actually big concern for me.
Well, thank you very much. And we have a couple minutes left. We have time for perhaps one or two more questions. Is anybody interested in asking? Let's see. Johnny, I see you here again. It's great to see you. Do you happen to have any questions today?
Hi guys. I can think of a question that came up earlier when you guys were discussing the participation rate in voting to remain in some kind of privilege or position. You mentioned 22%. Doesn't matter the number, but I was wondering if it isn't a problem, like to force people to vote in order to maintain their status. If it can't cause a situation in which I would just log in, vote whatever without reading, without really participating, just to maintain my status. So can't it like create false participation, if you want, or not very in-depth, knowledgeable voting?
Johnny, no, I refer to the question. If that helps us to beat voters' apathy, then please do so. Because it's either this or voters' apathy, and well, of the two evils, you choose the least one.
So you think it's actually better than maybe a system of delegation, permanent delegation, or yeah, even apathy.
No, there is like a system of liquid delegation where you can delegate your vote to any other human node in the network. No worries there. But the thing is that, well, the acting governing human node, that is a governor basically, well, it is considered in the voting set only if it is actually governing and filling all the requirements every month. And with voters' apathy, basically the whole consensus and network can stop. And well, with false participation of somebody, well, it's the least evil that voters' apathy, in my opinion. There's like a lot of factors into it.
I see.
I would say it, but like things that people want reward over participating would be the people who would be wiped out from the gladiator set first one, right? And then the people who like are voting but doing that without even thinking about it will be eventually wiped out as well, because those people who really devoted themselves to Humanode already came up with the idea or even developed something, they will care about, because it will be their project and not just, you know, somebody else.
Yeah, and of course, you know, when people come to the realization, I mean, I don't think this is something that people have to think about deeply before coming to this realization, but the more participation and the more active participation, the people who actually care about the network and how it grows, will realize that, you know, more active participation of these people, the more value the network has and produces, and therefore is better for them financially too. So hopefully people will come to this realization that the more active and the more people care for this network, and that it is their network too. I mean, you got to remember that, you know, everything that is developed in the network belongs to the community, and because it belongs to the community, you want to make sure that the community, including yourself, gets the most value out of it. So the more people that participate wanting to add value to the network rather than just, you know, suck it dry, the better. So
It's true, but there's always the free rider problem.
true. That is always true, and there always will be free riders, but the free riders would have to seriously work too.
Yeah, then they're not free riders. This is what basically you're trying to solve, I guess.
Yep, this is one of the things that we hope to solve. I mean, we do not know if our answer is the perfect answer right now, but we believe that this is a path that we can, you know, we should try out, and you know, it could be, you know, proof of concept here. But if it works, great. If it doesn't, I mean, the community can get together and try to find a solution and vote on it using the Vortex, and see how we can, you know, fix the problem or fix a crisis.
And it won't be a solution, a lazy one, like the people in DAOs are developing right now. So I've seen the comments of many founders of protocols. Oh my God, that's genius! And Shannon, do you know what they did? They set your vote to yes unless you change it automatically. That's their solution to voter apathy. Huh?
Okay,
and it's right now the most advanced in the industry, as people think.
Yep. So once again, thank you everybody for joining us for the Fireside. You know, our time is up here, and we'll be reconvening in 2 weeks' time. If you have any questions in the meanwhile, feel free to ask in our chat, either in Telegram or Discord. If you have any topics that you want us to talk about, yes, we will propose. We will, make a proposal saying, which topics do you want to hear about, but we will be more than open to suggestions. And actually, one last question here. I'm going to allow you to speak, and go ahead, ask your question.
Hi, I have problem with verification.
Victor, do you want to go?
Well, I hope Fiona will be able to help you, but let's keep it in the Discord channel, okay? It will be much easier because we'll have to check your logs and things like that. So we have a troubleshooting channel on Discord. That's where our developers also sit. They don't check on Telegram.
Okay, then. Yes, go ahead and ask in Discord, and Fiona, who is here, Princess Fiona, will help you out along with our developers. So, okay, once again, thank you, everybody. Dato, any last comments from you?
Prepare for Vortex by not dying. Thank you.
Okay, Victor.
Pretty straightforward. Don't forget that being lazy here won't make you a humanoid in the end.
Okay, then.
Can I say something? I just got the idea because he says dying.
Go ahead.
Is there a plan to make like a multi-sign something for human nodes? Because let's say I am a human node and for some I get accident, something happened to me and no one can access again to that everything behind my account or something, whatever or else there. So is there some plan towards that?
The first plan is to continue with the multimodal biometric approach once our facial recognition is fine, so that the face won't be the only modality you can use. The other one is that, you could have, so to say, a smart contract that will later transfer your money to the person you trust if something happens. But I mean, the question of transferring all the reputation scores and things like that, that's something more difficult to prove because we don't know your identity as it's private.
I see. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for coming.